Hey!
Hello friends, it's your buddy Nick here with Game with the Guys. I just wanted to give you a little progress report on what is going on in my my studies, we'll say, of... What am I doing with a torch over there? My studies of Dark Souls 3. And they are going very well, but once again there is so much stuff that that I have to look through. And as I let these guys fight each other, I'm really looking forward to starting with that playthrough, but I don't want to get started until I know everything. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and all that good stuff. But there were a few questions. Whoop. Maybe I need a shield. There were a few questions that I wanted to ask, and one of them was as far as the length of the videos. Now, I'd kind of been going around 45 minutes on videos before, and I've heard some people say that's fine, and some people say that that's way too long. So I'll put a question down in the comments below as far as your preference on the length of videos. And whoop, lucky that guy didn't hit me. So basically the options are, do you want to see something that's 25-30 minutes long, or is 45 minutes okay, or maybe just as long as I keep it under an hour, that's fine. But then the other option would be, hey, I really want to see you just get all the way through an area, do all the lore, fight the boss, and just complete the area. Doesn't matter how long the video is. I mean, it could be an hour, could be almost 2 hours. But if I do it that way, you just have to understand, hey, just pause and come back to it if you need more time with a certain video. So if you want me to do just a whole damn area in one video, those are going to be really long. So I mean that makes it easier for me as far as determining what to put in what videos. But I don't really think that doing hour-and-a-half videos is probably a good idea. I think my preference would be, under an hour, but, I really want to hear what you guys want. Why is this guy all up on me? Oh my god, what the hell? That was not going the way it was supposed to at all. This guy... These guys should have been... Anyway, I'm just trying to have, give some visuals to the talking here. So that was kind of the biggest thing with this video. But also I wanted to talk about speculation on the DLC. Now I'm starting to see some news sources are saying that DLC is coming out even as early as the end of August. And I was really hopeful that I would be like at least partway into doing videos by then, but I might not be, to be totally honest, just because my notes right now are upwards of 80 pages, and that's just lore. I'm not even done with the lore yet, and I'm at 80 pages. And I'm actually really excited to share a lot of my lore theories, because they're not the same as like a lot of the other popular ones. I am not finding the evidence to point in the same directions that some other people are seeing. So yeah, I'm really excited to share some of that with you, but I really want to do it as far as like keeping it in the playthrough as I go through, instead of just doing lore videos. But maybe after the fact I'll I'll do lore videos based on, you know what, I've never tried this. Let's see if this works. What does your head look like? Oh, that's really unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. And what I should have been doing here all along is playing with these stones. These stones are really fun, and that's what I should have been doing here. So yeah, I was talking about the DLC there. Oh, I can't use that one right now. Oh, well, that makes sense. Oops, that's not the one I want. This is the one I want. This is the fun one. This is the fun one here. And I didn't even hit him. That was really anticlimactic. How are you not hitting him from like that close? I was like, man, that one's gotta hit. That one's gotta hit. So yeah, DLC might be as early as the end of August. And is that a gargoyle? Oh, it is. I'm still learning stuff about the game, you see? Here's a gargoyle here. And, oh, it can definitely reach me from right there. But, so I wanted to talk about some of my speculation on what is going to be up with the DLC. And, it's kind of just really based on lore stuff that I've found and where I think that they can go with certain things. And so my thoughts are that, you know, there's a lot of stuff in Dark Souls 3 that mirrors Dark Souls 1. You know, obviously this is more of a sequel to Dark Souls 1 than Dark Souls 2 ever was. But I think that there's going to be... oh, and I should mention that there's 2 DLC planned. So I should talk about the 2 different places or kind of themes or whatnot to what the DLC will be. And I think that one of them is going to be a lot, you know, in a sense, a lot like Dark Souls 1. And that there's going to be a lot more exploration of, maybe not literally the Abyss, but a lot of exploration on the theme of the Abyss. And, oh, well, I don't know if you can hear that on the recording, but the trash man just came by. So yeah, as I was saying, I think that one of the DLCs is really going to focus on the Abyss as far as theme-wise. And so, like, I can't just say that it's going to be like, oh, they're going to go to Ulasil. No, I don't think they're going to do that. But I think that there will be something very Abyss related, in the sense like the way that Ulasil was saturated by the Abyss. We're gonna go somewhere that has that same kind of idea of being saturated by the Abyss. And I've seen some other people's videos on speculation on DLC stuff. And one that was really interesting was Vadi Video talking about Londor and them going into and discovering more about Londor. And while I don't fully agree with that, I think that they have as much Londor lore as they're probably going to put in the game. I think that because Londor is really associated with Hollows, and Hollows with the Abyss and darkness and all of that, that would actually really work. Is if they went to Londor and were looking at the darkness on different levels. So that would be really cool. But honestly, I don't think that the DLC area is going to be Londor. We've seen with Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1 where a lot of the areas were kind of time travel. In a sense, like in Dark Souls 1, you go back to Ulasil, and, that's the past of where Darkroot Garden is. So, will there be a time travel aspect? I think that there could be. And we see some time manipulation. I don't really know what to say. There's a lot of theories with Champion Gunder or Gunder. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. I've seen it. I saw something that said that it's supposed to be pronounced Gunder. So I'll do my best to stick with the way that things are supposed to be. But could there be some sort of aspect of time travel? Perhaps. And I think that would be kind of interesting to go back and look at some of the things affected by the Abyss and kind of see it in action. So the way that we looked at Ulasil being... Actually, we looked at Ulasil and it had already been infected by the Abyss. But, maybe, and my thought with this is looking at... say, Aldrich and the Cathedral of the Deep. Going to the cathedral before it became, super darkness, and seeing it, what it was before, and then seeing the development into being darkness and the deep. Or even Wolnir, who is also infected by the deep. Seeing, and since those areas are relatively close to each other, we could see how some of those things, how they became the way that they are. And this just popped in my head also that we could look at the Abyss Watchers. The Abyss Watchers are also infected by the Abyss. And so if there was a little bit of a time travel and kind of looking at the theme of the Abyss in this game, theme of darkness, and seeing how it came to be. I think that might be one of the DLC things. So whether time travel is involved with it, I don't know, but I think the Abyss is going to play a big role in one of the DLC. The other one, and I am not as confident with this one, but it is something that I think would be really interesting, is looking more at the Profane Capital. And we're seeing that the Profane Capital is... Ooh, I don't have my wax head going. The Profane Capital is... I feel like there's just so much more to it. Ooh, I'm getting the tail up. I feel that there's a lot more to the Profane Capital than what we've seen. And I think the real reason why that I'm looking at this as being, a possible DLC thing is that there's just a lot of hints that like the Profane Capital and the Profane Flame, the Profane Flame seems to really be related to, I don't want to like spoil some of my lore theories, but I guess I have to give you a hint. And the only way I can say this is that I think that the Profane Flame is really strongly related to the Bed of Chaos. And, didn't mean to bump the mic there. I'm sorry about that. We've seen Irithyll, or, it doesn't straight up say Irithyll. The Demon Ruins and the Smoldering Lake. It's Irithyll. But, I forgot that this guy is a one-time kill. I'm just running around and killing stuff so you have something to look at. But I really think that this video was a lot longer than I intended it to be, but that's okay. I really think that there's a lot more to the Profane Capital, especially the Profane Flame, just because I do think that there's a strong relation to the Bed of Chaos. And because we looked at the, you know, I'm saying that there's going to be a focus on the Abyss, you know, that's the dark. And I feel like in Dark Souls 3, maybe more than any of the other games, there's a lot of focus theme-wise on light and dark. And if the Abyss is the dark, then the Profane Flame could be the light. So I think that there's going to be, in a sense, a light DLC and a dark DLC. And so that's how I think that's going to go. What else do I have to mention? Well, got that one knee up. Captain Morgan style. So I talked DLC speculation. I hinted at some lore stuff, and yeah, that's the thing that I'm really kind of excited about, is lore stuff is going to be, I don't know, I've got different ideas, and maybe it's because I really focused on a couple of things. There was some bosses that I really felt have a lot more to the story than like what we're seeing on the surface. And maybe I just kind of started putting the ideas into my head that certain bosses were more having a bigger role than what they really do. But as I was reading more item descriptions and like soul descriptions and all of that stuff, I was really finding that there's certain players in this game that I think that are going to have a bigger role, that have a much bigger role than what we're initially led to believe. And hopefully some of that will get fleshed out in the DLC. And yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out, because some of my ideas with the DLC actually kind of have to do with that. So, no, I'm not talking like, oh, well, Profane Capital must be Yorm. Yorm is definitely a big part of the DLC. No, I don't know. I don't think that Yorm's really a big deal in the DLC. Yorm is kind of a throwaway. No, that's not true. Yorm isn't a throwaway. Yorm is great. But, yeah. And okay. One other thing that I wanted to talk about, hopefully you've made it this far and listening to all my jibber jabber, is, yeah, I wanted to ask you about the length of the video, so please check out my comment below so that you can add additional insight to that and let me know what you think about the length of videos. And I got a request to do more PvP, and I think what I'm going to do, how I'm going to address that, is I'm planning on doing, you know, the way that I've kind of regularly done my schedule is having videos Monday through Friday, and I think that those are really going to focus, you know, just directly on getting through the game, PvE, lore, strategy, those types of things, little intricate nuances like, why does this primordial serpent have wings, things like that. But then as I see questions in the comments, some of those I'll answer directly into the comments section. But I think what another thing that I'll try to do is do a sixth video of the week, and it'll just kind of be a little bit more like this, where I'm, you know, running through. Actually, that wasn't my plan. My plan was actually to record some co-op and some PvP, just kind of looking at my build and how it is at that moment and how viable it is in PvP. So my PvP highlights might be of me getting my ass kicked, but you know, we'll see how viable the builds are. And I say builds plural because I'm planning on going through the game with 2 different builds that I've already planned. So please don't be like, hey, I want to see you do this build. I don't know. I might end up doing a 3rd build just for like weird follow-up things, but I'm really gonna focus on two characters, 2 builds, and they are pretty different. So hopefully that'll be more interesting to watch than just seeing Tadpole going through with, you know, just the very, you know, just one style throughout the game. So yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I'm gonna do like questions. I can't remember exactly how much of this I said, but I'll have the 5 main videos weekly, and then a kind of a 6th video that'll answer interesting questions, queries, lore theories, those types of things in that bonus video, and the footage for the bonus video is going to be mostly co-op and PvP. So instead of me running through and telling you, right over here is where the Grand Lance is, but yeah, that's kind of what I had to say. I figured that this video was going to be like 5 minutes, and now it's like almost 22 minutes long. But you know me, I like to ramble, and I did not have this video planned out as well as I plan on having the detailed playthrough planned out. And like I said, my notes are 80 plus pages right now, and that is strictly lore, and I haven't even gotten to all of the lore yet. That is stuff. Yeah, I'm hoping that I'll be done soon, because I'm really excited to get going. But I don't want to, like I said before, I don't want to start recording and have my theories change as I'm like partway through my playthrough. I want to get through all of the lore of the game before I start playing through. So I want to have my ideas set in stone. Well, stone might be I want them set in very dark pencil, so that they're easy to read, legible, but I will have the right to change them later if proven otherwise. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have some of those videos going, and maybe in the next couple of weeks we'll have some DLC. So I think my detailed playthrough is really going to be based on lore from the vanilla game. So if there's new stuff in the DLC, I might have to just do DLC detailed run-throughs afterward. So we'll see. All right, thanks again for watching, everyone. We will see you next time. Oh, that was anticlimactic. I meant to do this one. We will see you next time.